I want to marry you, but I need one last night with my ex. For closure. That's what she said. Sitting across the dinner table, fork in hand, calm as you like, as if she just asked me to pass the salt. I didn't scream. I didn't flip the table. I didn't even blink. I said, "Take all the closure you need." Then I took back the ring, the future, the BMW she drove, and what I gave her next was a retirement party she'll never forget. My name's Nathan Carter. I'm 31 years old, based in Plano, Texas. I'm a commercial real estate broker making around $165K a year, not counting commission. I don't come from money. No handouts, no fancy connections, just late nights, black coffee, and years of grinding when everyone else was out partying. I bought my first BMW the same month I hit six figures. Closed on a $420K house the same year. I built the life I wanted from nothing, and yeah, I was proud of that. Then came Madison. Blonde, confident, stunning, and lethal in ways I didn't realize until much later. Before I take you deep into the mess that was our engagement and the cold-blooded revenge that followed, take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for how this ends. Because she thought I'd stay quiet. She thought I'd be broken. She had no idea who she was messing with. It all started 3.5 years ago. My brokerage had just hosted a regional networking event at this rooftop bar downtown. It was the usual crowd: realtors, mortgage brokers, developers, and a few startup types trying to break in. That's where I met Madison Blake. She walked in like she owned the place, fitted blazer, red lips, every hair in place. She wasn't just attractive, she was strategic. I caught her glancing at my Omega Seamaster more than once. The same one I bought after closing my first $1 million deal. She laughed at my jokes a little too hard. Touched my wrist when she asked me questions. I was 27, naive, and thinking with the wrong part of my body. Our first date was at this high-end steakhouse where the cheapest glass of wine was $22. She ordered filet mignon, truffle mashed potatoes, and creme brulee. Didn't even glance at the prices. Then smiled and said, "Oh no, I forgot my wallet in the car." I paid, of course I did. Second date a wine bar, she suggested. Bottle minimum $80. Oops, forgot my wallet again. By the third date, I started catching on. But by then, I was already hooked. She made me feel important. Like I was someone worth impressing. She laughed at my stories like they mattered. She leaned in just enough to make me think we were connected. And man, physical chemistry off the charts. By month 3, she was accidentally leaving stuff at my place. By month 5, she officially moved in. Her lease was up, and she said, "Why bother signing a new one when I'm always here anyway?" It sounded logical at the time. A year in, she quit her job, said the stress was too much, said she wanted to focus on us. I should have seen the red flags. Looking back, there were enough to start a marching band, but I was proud of where I was in life. And Madison. She fit the picture. She looked like the kind of woman a successful man was supposed to be with. So, I proposed. The engagement, $15,000 and a photographer in the bushes. When I say I went all out, I mean it. I dropped 15 grand on the ring Tiffany's. Booked a skyline view restaurant, had a violinist play her favorite song. Even hid a photographer nearby to capture the moment. She said yes, eventually. Her first reaction wasn't to hug me or even kiss me. No. Her first move was to pull out her phone and take 15 pictures of the ring. Different angles, different lighting. "Can you kneel again? I need a better shot for Instagram." And like a clown, I did. Because I wanted her to be happy. I wanted to show her off. I wanted to believe she was as invested in us as I was. Spoiler, she wasn't. The wedding she never paid for. The next morning, literally the next morning, she had Pinterest boards ready. Venue $12,000 for a castle-like estate. Dress $3,000 for something she'd wear once. Catering, music, florals. Invitations all chosen for maximum social media impact. The total bill $45,000. All paid by yours truly. She hadn't worked in over 2 years, but she sure knew how to spend. And I let her, because I thought we were building something real. Because I was blind. The dinner that changed everything. Then came the dinner. Just a regular Thursday evening. I grilled steaks. She picked at hers like she wasn't hungry. Kept checking her phone. Jumped a little every time I moved. I asked if something was wrong. That's when she gave me the look. If you've ever been blindsided, you know the one I mean. It's the look that says, "Brace yourself. I'm about to destroy your reality." Then she said it. "I've been talking to Zane, just catching up. And it made me realize we never had closure. I need to see him again. Just once. To close that chapter." I froze. Then she dropped the bomb. "I think I need to sleep with him. Just one night. Then I'll be yours. Completely." That was the moment everything in me went quiet. And I smiled. "Of course," I said. "Take all the closure you need." She thought I meant it. That's the part that still amazes me. She genuinely believed I was cool with her getting closure by sleeping with her ex-boyfriend. And the way she lit up like I'd just handed her a gift card for chaos told me everything I needed to know. Madison wasn't conflicted. She wasn't confused. She had a plan. A twisted, selfish, delusional plan. And she thought I'd just quietly let it happen. I didn't argue. I didn't even flinch. I gave her permission because I knew what came next would require one thing: patience. The history behind the ring. Madison and I had been together for over 3 years. She moved into my house about 5 months into dating. And what started as just until I find a new place turned into a permanent arrangement. I covered the mortgage, the groceries, utilities, even her gym membership. She took on the role of full-time fiancé and quit her job a year into the relationship. Said it was too stressful. Said she wanted to be more present in the relationship. What she really meant was she wanted to lounge around in silk robes, drinking imported coffee and scrolling through social media while I worked 60-hour weeks. But I justified it. She kept the house tidy, cooked sometimes, and she made me feel on good days like a king. She said all the right things, called me her rock, told friends I was the best thing that ever happened to her, bragged about me to her family, but none of it was real. It was just performance. Madison wasn't building a life with me. She was building a stage. The closure conversation. The night she asked to sleep with her ex, Zane, was the first time I saw the cracks in her act. She couldn't meet my eyes. Her hand shook when she picked up her wine glass, but she still said it. Like it was reasonable. Like it was healthy. "He's not like you," she said. "He's chaotic. He's broke. But there's history. It ended so abruptly. I need to understand why." I sat there in silence. "You're everything I want. Nathan. Stable. Mature. Kind. I just don't want any doubts when we walk down that aisle." She leaned forward, sweaty palms against mine, thinking I might thank her for being so honest. But what I heard was something else entirely. I was her plan B. I was her safety net. I was the man she'd settle for after she scratched an itch with the guy who never treated her right. That was the moment I stopped loving her. The reality of Zane. Let me tell you about Zane Rourke. He was the poster child for failed musicians, vintage band tees, torn jeans, greasy hair he called bohemian, played open mic nights at bars with sticky floors, lived off GoFundMe donations and leftover pizza crusts. He and Madison dated in college. 2 years. She barely talked about him during our relationship. And when she did, it was always dismissive. Ugh, Zane. Such a phase. I was young and stupid. Apparently, stupid was making a comeback. She told me they'd reconnected online. He had a few gigs in Austin and just wanted to catch up. One conversation led to another. Memories came flooding back. And suddenly she was convinced she needed closure. But Madison underestimated 2 things. I wasn't the naive, love-struck guy she met 3 years ago. And I don't lose. A change in her energy. In the weeks leading up to that dinner, I'd noticed things shifting. Late-night texts she claimed were from her book club. Errands that took hours. Passwords changed on her phone and laptop. An overnight obsession with skincare and spin classes after months of zero interest. She started working out again, bought new lingerie, and kept saying she wanted to feel her best for the wedding. Translation, she was getting ready for her final fling. And now she had my blessing, so she thought. Inside the lion's den. After she went to bed that night, giddy about her upcoming emotional breakthrough, I did what any decent man with a working brain would do. I started digging. She'd left her laptop open on the couch. Rookie mistake. Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, even her Amazon account, all logged in. She'd been texting Zane for 3 weeks. Not 3 days. 3 weeks. The messages that burned at first. It was flirty nostalgia. Zane, is this really Madison? Madison, hey. Stranger. Miss me. Zane, every day. How's the fiancé? Madison, stable. Boring. Nothing like you. Then it got worse. Remember that time on the dorm roof stop? You're making me nostalgic. I've got shows coming up near you. I'd like that. Nathan travels sometimes. It wasn't just closure. It was a pattern. They'd already seen each other. Multiple times. Months ago. And the kicker, she was sending him screenshots of my bank statements. Pictures of my house. My cars. My watch collection. All with captions like, think he's getting a prize. He's just a bank account with a heartbeat. That's when the love officially died. But my clarity, it was born. I didn't sleep that night. Not because I was heartbroken. Not even because I was angry. But because my mind wouldn't stop working. Every message I read, every photo she sent him screenshots of my brokerage account, my house, even my imported coffee beans felt like pieces of a puzzle she didn't think I'd ever see. And that puzzle spelled one thing: I wasn't a man to her. I was a retirement plan. The disgusting truth, I found a thread from 2 months ago. Zane, does he know? Madison. Not yet. But he will. Nathan's so understanding about everything. Zane, lucky me. Same hotel as before. Madison. Actually, can you get something nicer? I'm used to better now. Same hotel as before. Meaning this wasn't the first time. It had happened before. Probably while I was out of town. Maybe even while I was working 12-hour days to fund her fairy tale wedding. Then I saw the one that sealed it. Zane, bring that thing I like. Madison, the lingerie's already packed. Zane, and maybe some of that expensive stuff from your boy's kitchen. Madison Lowell, he won't notice. Too busy working. That expensive stuff. My $200 Colombian coffee beans. The ones I'd been saving for weekends we were supposed to enjoy together. She was using my money to seduce her ex, and mocking me in the process. The final straw, the thread from last week felt like acid. Zane, so, after this weekend, you're really marrying him. Madison. Obviously. Do you know how much money he makes? I'll be set for life. Zane harsh. Madison. It's realistic. You're fun. But Nathan's my future. You're my fun now. He's my security. That word again. Security. It played in my head like a broken track. I gave her 3.5 years, a $15,000 ring, a $45,000 wedding, and she saw me as a bank account with a pulse. I wasn't just hurt. I wasn't just betrayed. I was insulted. That's when I decided I wasn't going to walk away. I was going to walk her straight into her own downfall. The calls that started it all the next morning, while she floated around the house picking outfits for her closure weekend, I started making calls. First call Eli. Eli Trans, a digital marketing guy, runs his own agency, knows how to make things disappear online and how to make them reappear in the worst way possible. We'd done business together before. Trustworthy. Ruthless when he needs to be. Eli, I need a favor. Quiet. Fast. And it can't come back to me. He didn't even ask why. By the time I sent him the screenshots, he was already awake and reading. Bro, she's been playing you for months. I know, and I'm going to play her back. The lawyer, the accountant, the shield. Second call my lawyer. Sheila Jenkins handles all my business contracts. Nathan, what's going on? I need to know if that prenup Madison signed last year is enforceable. And what happens if she commits adultery? She paused. Then I sent her the screenshots. Her answer, oh, we're going to have some fun. Turns out that prenup Madison blindly signed along with our insurance forms, estate documents, and asset agreements had a clause specifically voiding any claim to joint property in the event of infidelity. She signed away everything, thinking she was getting protection. What she really gave me was legal immunity. Third call my accountant. Move everything. Trusts, LLCs, assets. Quietly. He didn't ask questions. Just started making calls. By noon, my finances were locked down tighter than Fort Knox. If Madison tried to come for anything after the fallout, she'd find a whole lot of nothing. The masterpiece move, then came the best part. I found Zane's number on Madison's phone, took a breath, then called. He picked up. Hello, up. Hey, Zane. Right. This is Nathan, Madison's fiancé. Dead silence. I know about everything. And I just want you to know. I'm cool with it. You what? Madison told me about your history, about her need for closure. And if that's what she needs to feel whole, I support it. He stumbled through some nonsense. I kept going. In fact, I upgraded your hotel room. You'll be in the penthouse at JW Marriott. Champagne, strawberries, rose petals, cake the works. You did what? Consider it a gift, one man to another. I could hear him blinking over the phone. Thanks, man, I guess. Oh, and don't forget to order room service. It's on me. Anything you want. He thanked me again. He had no idea he'd just agreed to walk straight into a trap. Her closure outfit Friday morning. Madison was glowing. She wore a brand new red dress, tight, short. Definitely not something you wear for a conversation about closure. I'm so nervous, she said, fluffing her hair. But excited. This is going to be so good for us. After this weekend, I'll never have doubts again. I nodded. I'm sure you won't. She booked herself a full spa day to mentally prepare. Mani-pedi, facial, a hydrating body wrap all on my card. Of course, I want to look my best for Zane, she said, then quickly corrected herself. I mean, for when I say goodbye. For me, to feel strong. Right, because we all get bikini waxes before emotionally mature farewells. The clock starts now. As soon as she left the house, I made one final call. Eli, I said, it's time. He didn't hesitate. You sure you want to do this? Never been more sure. By sunset, I was sipping coffee across from the hotel lobby, watching the trap unfold in real time. The sun was just starting to dip behind the skyline when I parked across from the JW Marriott. Coffee in one hand, phone in the other, and Eli sitting beside me, laptop open, calm as a sniper before the shot. We had the perfect view of the hotel lobby. Cameras ready, screens recording. No drama, just patience. Madison thought she was about to spend a romantic night with her what-if. She didn't know we were setting the stage for her public downfall. And Zane, he thought he was the lucky guy who got to spend one last night with the girl who got away. He had no idea he was walking into the final chapter of her free ride. Timing is everything. At 6:15 p.m., Madison walked through the hotel doors. New red dress, overnight bag slung over one shoulder, lip gloss perfect, confidence through the roof. She smiled at the concierge like she was checking into heaven. Eli leaned back, watching her through the zoom lens. She really dressed up for her own funeral, he said. I didn't respond. At 6:20, I got a text from Zane. Dude, this suite is insane. Thanks again. At 6:25, Madison texted me. Just got here. Thank you for being so understanding. Love you. I didn't reply. I just smiled. Room service with a twist. I'd made sure the room was stocked. Champagne, chocolate-dipped strawberries, dim lighting, soft music. Everything you'd expect for a high-end romantic night. And one more thing. At 8:00 p.m. Room service knocked with a custom cake I had requested earlier. White frosting, gold lettering. Congratulations on your retirement. Delivered right to the penthouse suite. Eli and I waited in silence. At 8:15, my phone rang. Zane. Hey, man. What the heck is this cake? What kind of game are you playing? No game. Just celebrating Madison's retirement. Retirement from what? I hung up. The panic calls begin. At 8:20, Madison called me. I answered on the first ring. Nathan, what is this cake supposed to mean? Just a little inside joke between us girls. You don't remember our conversation about retirement plans? Silence. Then I asked, how's your closure session going? Feeling healed yet? Her voice dropped. I think there's been a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. You thought I was stupid. That's the only miscalculation here. Click. Phase 2, full exposure. That's when Eli went to work. He was already logged into Madison's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts. She never changed the passwords on her laptop. And what he posted was art. A photo collage. Screenshots of her texts with Zane flirty, incriminating, disgusting. Photos from their previous meetups at other hotels. My bank statements she'd sent him. A shot of her walking into the Marriott an hour earlier, captured by Eli's camera, right in the center. That cake. Congratulations on your retirement. Caption: when your fiancé is so understanding, he pays for your last fling before the wedding. Thanks, Nathan, for being such a supportive meal ticket. Closure. Jabida retirement vibes. Jabiduri, sorry, not sorry. He tagged everyone. family, friends, wedding guests, old co-workers, her yoga studio, her stylist. It hit the internet like a grenade. The collapse begins within 10 minutes. The post had 50 comments. Within an hour, over 200 shares. Texts started flooding her phone. Her sister, her mom, my mom, our wedding photographer. Everyone. Her socialite friends. They were brutal. OMG, Madison. What were you thinking? This is so embarrassing. You ruined your life. Nathan is a catch. How could you do this to him? And Zane. He started commenting too. Wait, she's getting married. She told me they broke up. She's been playing both of us. I'm out. It was glorious. Every lie she ever told. Unraveled. Publicly. The call that wasn't forgiveness. At 9 Nazar, she called again. This time, she was hysterical. Nathan, please. It's not what it looks like. It looks like you're in a hotel room with your ex after months of lying to me. It was just closure. You said you understood. Oh, I understood. I understood perfectly. You've been seeing Zane behind my back. You plan to marry me for money. You called me a meal ticket with a heartbeat. I can explain. You don't need to. You already did. With screenshots. I've seen everything. Silence. Then sobbing. I'm begging you. Don't cancel the wedding. Please. I can fix this. There's nothing to fix. The knockout punch. You're moving out tomorrow. You'll need a lawyer. A lawyer? Prenup. Madison. The one you signed when you were too busy snapping photos of the ring to read what you were signing. I didn't. Oh, but you did. Sheila made sure of it. Clause 14b. Adultery nullifies all claims to marital assets. You're entitled to exactly nothing. You tricked me. No. I protected myself. There's a difference. Click. Saturday night was chaos. For her. For me, it was peace. I turned my phone off around 10 p.m. and went to bed. Slept like a baby. Because I knew what was waiting for her when she stepped back into the real world. This wasn't just a breakup. This was exposure. And it was only getting started. Sunday morning, no longer her home. At 8 a.m. I opened the garage and started setting everything up. Not a yard sale. Not officially. But that's exactly what it looked like. On my front lawn, every single item I had bought Madison over the last 3.5 years. Designer clothes, heels, handbags, jewelry, luggage, perfume, skincare products. Even that ridiculous $400 hairdryer she swore she needed to feel confident. All laid out neatly under a sign. Free cheaters' belongings. Take what you like. Neighbors didn't even ask questions. They just started browsing. One of them, Mrs. Jensen from 2 doors down, walked off with a Louis Vuitton carry-on. Always thought that girl was trouble, she muttered, stuffing it with groceries. Madison returns with backup around noon. A minivan pulled up. Out stepped Madison. Behind her were her sister, Lindsay, and their mom, Patricia. Matching sunglasses, tight mouths, arms folded. Madison looked wrecked. Mascara-stained cheeks, sunglasses hiding swollen eyes. She saw the front yard and froze. Where's my stuff? I didn't even bother walking out. Just leaned on the porch railing with a coffee in hand. You mean the things I bought with my money? They found better homes? Her mom stormed up the walkway. Young man, this is illegal. You can't throw away someone's personal property. They're not hers. Check the receipts. I paid for every item out there. Madison was already in tears again. You're being cruel. No, I'm being practical. You don't live here anymore. So you don't need any of it. Family drama on full display. Lindsay tried to play peacemaker. Nathan, we know she made a mistake. But this is harsh. Oh, I agree. Want to see something harsher? I pulled out my phone and opened the screenshots folder. Madison froze. I scrolled through messages, photos, bank records, everything she'd sent Zane. Then turned the screen toward Patricia. Your daughter called me a bank account with a heartbeat. She was planning to take half my life savings while hooking up with her ex in secret. Patricia's tan drained in real time. Madison Marie, is that true? I didn't mean it. I was venting. She tried to spin, but Patricia didn't buy it. And then, like a scene out of an old movie, Patricia slapped her. Not a little tap. A full-on open palm crack that echoed off the garage door. You stupid girl, she snapped. Do you have any idea what you've thrown away? Mom, this man gave you a home, a future, and you threw it away for a loser in a band. Lindsay was nodding. I told you Zane was trash. Her final plea. Madison turned back to me, wiping tears and smeared makeup. I can fix this. There's nothing left to fix. But the wedding, the guests, the deposits. Your problem now. Good luck making those phone calls. She stepped closer, put a hand on my chest, lowered her voice. Baby, you know I love you. This was just cold feet. Every bride gets cold feet. I laughed. Cold feet don't come with lingerie and hotel receipts. I was confused. No. You were calculated. There's a difference. The breakdown of a scammer. I can get a job. I can contribute. I can prove myself. You haven't worked in 2 years. I have a degree from a state school with a 2.7 GPA in communications. And your biggest achievement is a Pinterest board. Silence. Her family looked at her like they were seeing her for the first time. Then Patricia turned to me. What would it take for you to reconsider? With respect, ma'am, this isn't about punishment. It's about character. I made a mistake, Madison shouted. No, I said. A mistake is forgetting to turn off the stove. This was a 3-year deception. The real Madison comes out finally. The mask cracked. Fine, she snapped. You want to throw me away? Go ahead. But good luck finding someone else who'll put up with your boring self. You're not that great of a catch. You're awkward. You work too much. You have no idea how to have fun. And there it was. The real her. Not the Instagram girlfriend. Not the wine night fiancé. Just the bitter, spoiled girl who finally realized the ride was over. I looked her dead in the eye. You're probably right, I said. But I'm an awkward, boring, wealthy man who now knows exactly what to put in a prenup. They left. Madison sobbing, Patricia scolding, Lindsay shaking her head. I thought it was over. Honestly, I figured once Madison left my driveway with her reputation in ruins and her designer bags in the hands of my neighbors, I'd never hear from her again. But 3 weeks later, my phone rang. It was her. I almost declined it. Almost. But something told me to pick up. The call that changed everything again. Nathan, please don't hang up. Her voice was thin, tired. She sounded like someone who hadn't slept in days. What do you want? I need your help. That stopped me. She wasn't crying. Not yet. But she was close. I'm in trouble. Real trouble. And that's when she explained what had happened since the post went viral. The social media bomb didn't stop at her. Turns out that little collage Eli posted had a ripple effect bigger than I expected. Her mom, Patricia, worked at a boutique in Highland Park, very high-end. Most of her clients were wealthy women who cared a little too much about optics. Women who had seen the post. Women who now didn't want to be styled by the mother of the girl who cheated on her fiancé and went viral for it. She was let go the same week. Then there was Lindsay, her sister, a real estate agent who relied heavily on referrals and reputation. When your last name is trending because of a scandal, and everyone in your client base thinks your family is full of grifters, referrals dry up fast. Lindsay lost 2 big clients in a week. Neither of them were speaking to Madison anymore. She was back in her childhood bedroom, surrounded by silence. No money, no friends. And the biggest surprise, Zane wasn't broke. Zane's comeback and final strike. Apparently, his little starving artist act was just that, an act. Turns out Zane had built a decent following online. He had sponsorship deals, a growing YouTube presence, and had just landed a small record contract. And when his name got pulled into Madison's spiral, he didn't take it lightly. She'd posted screenshots, shared private conversations, uploaded photos. His team sent her a cease and desist, followed by a formal letter from his lawyer. They were threatening to sue for defamation and emotional distress. And Zane was asking for a settlement, $50,000. "I don't have that kind of money," she whispered. "I don't have anything. You're the only person I know who has that kind of money." And there it was, even now, even after everything. She still saw me as a safety net, still saw me as a bank account with legs. "You want me to pay your legal bills? I'll pay you back, I swear. I'll get a job, I'll work, With what skills? Madison, you haven't worked in 2 years. You lied your way through a relationship, trashed your own name, and now you're a PR disaster. I've applied everywhere, but they Google my name, and the post comes up. No one wants to hire me. The post is still up. I tried to delete it, but your friend made sure it was screenshotted, cached, and spread everywhere." She paused. "I know I messed up, but I'm desperate. Please, I have no one else." That was the first honest thing she'd said in years. "I'll help you," I said. She gasped. "You will, but only under one condition." "Anything." You're gonna make a video." "What? A public video?" "Same social media accounts. You'll explain what you did, why it was wrong. You'll apologize by name to me, my family, your family, and everyone invited to the wedding. And then, you'll pay Zane. I'll consider it." She hung up. I figured that would be the end. But 2 days later, she posted the video, 12 minutes long. She cried, she stammered, she confessed. Said she used me, said she lied to me, said I didn't deserve what she did. Admitted to cheating, manipulating, and treating me like a financial backup plan. Apologized to my mom, my sister, even my barber who somehow got tagged in the fallout. The comment section was a war zone. Some people pitied her. Most did not. But the post went viral again. Newspapers picked it up. So did TikTok. And when she called me that night, her voice was shaking. "I did it. It's up." I humiliated myself. "Now, will you help me?" I took a breath, then said, "Madison, I've given this a lot of thought." Pause. "And I've decided, no, I'm not going to help you." Silence. Then screaming. "You made me humiliate myself for nothing. No. You humiliated yourself the moment you chose to cheat and lie and manipulate someone who loved you. All of this was your doing." And before she could launch into whatever performance she had planned next, I hung up, blocked her number. It's been a little over a year since that phone call. The one where I told Madison no. No to her settlement. No to her tears. No to being her lifeline one more time. And not once have I regretted it. What happened next? A few weeks after the video went viral, she disappeared from social media completely, deleted all her accounts. Word got around that she moved in with some distant aunt out in Arizona. Last I heard, she was working at a local tanning salon under a different last name. Zane never sued her. He didn't need to. The threat alone was enough to burn what little remained of her reputation. Her family went silent. I never saw Patricia or Lindsay again. But a mutual acquaintance told me the boutique never rehired her mom. And Lindsay, she left real estate. Too much baggage with the last name Blake. Madison's name became a cautionary tale. Locally viral, internet permanent. She thought the internet was a playground. Turns out, it's more like concrete. You don't bounce back from a fall like that. What I learned, I'll be honest with you. Revenge felt good, satisfying, clean. But that's not what stuck with me. What stayed was the realization that some people don't love you. They love what you do for them, how you make them look, what you represent, and if you're not careful, you'll spend years building a life for someone who was only ever planning to cash out. Madison didn't fall in love with me. She fell in love with the lifestyle I gave her. The house, the car, the curated Instagram posts. But love that depends on things is just rented attention. The moment those things disappear, so does the person. Closure isn't a conversation. People talk a lot about closure, as if it's something someone else can give you. Madison said she needed one night with her ex to get closure. But closure doesn't come from someone who already broke you. Closure comes from acceptance, from seeing things clearly, from walking away without waiting for an apology. She thought she could use me, thought I'd be too polite, too in love, too invested to do anything but sulk quietly in a corner. Instead, I built a plan, and when the time came, I executed it with precision. No screaming, no threats, just receipts, and one perfectly worded cake. Where I am now today, I'm still working in real estate, still driving that same BMW, still wearing that Omega watch. But I don't measure my success in things anymore. I measure it in peace. And let me tell you, peace is loud in a very different way. It's waking up and knowing no one's draining you. It's building a life with someone who chooses you, not just your credit score. I've dated since. Nothing serious yet. But I'm good. Because now I know what to look for. And more importantly, I know what to walk away from. So if you're watching this and wondering whether you're being used, check the signs. Look for the patterns. Stop explaining away the red flags just because they smile when you walk into the room. You don't owe anyone your savings, your silence, or your future. Especially not someone who treats you like a placeholder. If you've been through something similar, share your story below. I want to hear it. Maybe someone else does too. And if you enjoyed this story, drop a like, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Because there are more stories where this came from. Real ones. Thanks for watching. I'm Nathan Carter, and I got my closure the right way.